Lisa here, and so if you watched my first video, you know that we have a couple of membership offers for the Fall Academy, and that's going to be your number one access to online tools for you 24/7 to be able to ask information in the community where your sisters may be able to guide you sometimes even better than me through their own experiences, and where you'll be able to maybe invest some time to guide yourself at times that you feel you need a little bit more support from that web. You know, it doesn't always have to be you. I know we think, oh, I know, but I can. And you might be able to, but you can actually choose to manage your stress by choosing not to. So what did I put together for you? The 1-month membership is for someone who needs the tune-up. The intention of the 1-month membership is really about dealing with where you feel most comfortable, both in your finances and your time commitment. It's a 30 to 45 day commitment, and the reason I don't say 30 or 45 is because it's about a month. But we all know things come up in a month and people have vacations, and I didn't want anyone to feel like they couldn't do it if something was coming up, because as soon as you're hearing that inner guru goddess speak to you that you need a little bit more support, I want you to know that there is an opportunity and we can work around certain things. Also, I wanted to give some flexibility in terms of how we work together. Now, the therapy versus the coaching relationship is a little bit different. Working every week together to quote-unquote fix something is more of being in a therapeutic relationship. What I'm offering in my mentorships are coaching relationships, and that's different. So we're not going to say set in stone, this is exactly what we're going to do each time. All I can tell you is what I have to offer you, which is a really super unique blend of tons and tons of women's health experience on both a clinical and a personal level. I can bring you my own story. I can bring you research. I can bring you in communication with thousands, literally thousands of my connections internationally, who are giving courses or who are in different parts of the world where we might be virtually working on one aspect, they might be able to add in. I can work as a team leader. This is something unique, not every physical therapist can do. They might have the ability, let's say, in their practice act to, but not a lot of them have the experience. I've been working as a primary care provider, meaning that you can walk in, work with me to plan out and be the gatekeeper for connecting you to the services, the optimal services you need for the past 11 years. Now, you can ask around. You're not going to get that from a traditional physical therapy or therapist relationship. You might not even get that from, let's say, a psychological or a counseling relationship. And you most likely will not get that from your physician-based primary care relationship. None of those are bad, and in fact, I work a lot of times with all of them when the need arises. But what's unique about working with me is that my particular background, one is a physical therapist, a doctor of physical therapy, means that I can red flag many of the things that you're talking about when you come to me for a movement or a pain or a wellness dysfunction. I also have an added degree in women's health coaching, and I'm also a long-time yoga therapist, or utilizing yoga in my healthcare practice. So I have a lot of layers, and there's a lot to my story, both on the fitness side as well as degrees. But what's most important is that I hold space for you, and I have the time for you, and I set aside the time for you to bring out your wisdom with me. That's a really different relationship. And so on the 1-month level, we can get in there, we can identify, we can even set you up on a course for self-accountability. And depending if you've worked with me in the past, you might have be able to get even a little bit deeper on some past goals that we've made, that you need a tune-up, or a check-in to progress. The 3-month membership is the gold membership, and that really is gold. That's really where you're really going to make some money. And when I mean going to make some money, I mean you're going to make yourself really be able to work and act on some of your self-discovery work. So if you invest in a 3-month program right off the bat, we're setting inherently that pace, excuse me, to be able to not only self-reflect, but to take a certain amount of action and set goals in a way that feels empowering and also proactive. So you can work on a 1 month, not quite sure, then you get really sure, then get another 1 month, or you can get 1 month and then you're really sure and go right into 3 months, really digging deep, or you can go right on into 3 months. I'm going to leave that to you, and you can inquire what's the real difference. Even if I'm only with you on an hourly consulting basis, know that I'm going to bring my 100% each time. I'm going to be able to read you. I'm going to be able to reflect with you. I'm going to be able to show you your truth in that mirror if you can receive. I make no guarantees to your receptivity. I make no guarantees that the experiences that you're going to have are exactly the ones that you thought when you began, because that would be me lying. That would be something that, let's say, I wanted to give you a Band-Aid or a quick fix for, which many times a 30-day, let's say, detox or a 30-day weight shift program might be able to do, because if I can manipulate your behaviors enough, then the science is going to dictate that things change, and you're going to see a change, and that's enabling. You're going to see a change here too, but we're working so deep that we're working on transformation. And so those changes that I'm enabling you to set up are really being set up at the real root level. We're not going to cut down the weeds and say everything's okay. We're going to dig in. We're going to dig in and find where the roots are, and we're going to pull them up. And if you don't want to work on that, if you don't want to really truly be free of some vices that you've utilized for the past maybe 10, 15, 20 years, if you truly don't want to tap into what is really at this point allowing for persistent, continuing pain or consistent, persistent stress in your life, then this is not the program or that relationship you need. This is for somebody who's really ready to own it, to own her health, to own her wealth, to be able to engage in her life in a way that feels both empowering, enlightening, inspiring, and there's nothing that can't come from that. Once you learn to tap into yourself and your truth that way, things just happen. So click below, take another look at that 1 month and 3 month option. Really the big difference there is financial barriers, time barriers, the duration of commitment that you want right now in the stage that you're at. If you're not quite ready, take a look at my personal development tools. See if there's some information there that you might really like, and maybe get 1 or 2 clarity sessions from me. The sky's the limit, ladies, and I'm right here for you. Take care.